Most men don't realize this until it's too late, but nothing rattles a woman more than the moment she senses you're no longer chasing her. The second she feels your attention slipping away, her entire behavior starts to shift. And here's the truth most guys miss. A woman often notices your disinterest long before you ever say a word. She picks up on the small details, the texts that stop coming as often, the way your tone changes, the fact that you're not as available as you once were. To her, that loss of interest isn't just casual. It's a direct threat to her sense of value in the relationship. Now, here's where it gets interesting. A lot of men think if they pull back, women will just shrug and move on. But the reality is often the opposite. When a woman realizes you've lost interest, it stirs something deep inside her. Depending on the type of woman and the dynamic you've had, she might panic. She might fight to regain your attention, or she might even try to play her own games to win back control. Whatever the case, your loss of interest forces her to confront something she doesn't like, the possibility of losing you. This is what makes today's topic so important. Understanding how women react in these moments gives you clarity and power. Instead of being confused by her sudden behavior changes, why she gets clingy, why she acts distant, or why she tries harder than before, you'll see the psychology behind it. And once you understand it, you'll never look at female behavior the same way again. So, welcome to the channel. Here, we break down female psychology in clear, practical terms so you don't have to keep guessing. Today, we're going to uncover exactly how a woman reacts when she realizes you've lost interest and what those reactions really mean for you. Stick with me, because once you see this from the inside out, you'll be ahead of 90% of men in the dating game. 1. Her panic response. When a woman first senses that you've lost interest, her initial reaction is often panic, even if she doesn't show it openly. It's not about you being the perfect man she can't live without. It's about the sudden change in dynamic. Women are highly tuned into shifts in energy, attention, and presence. When you were interested, she had your validation on tap. You texted back quickly, you wanted to see her, you showed her she mattered. But the moment you start pulling back, she feels that gap. And make no mistake, that gap feels massive to her. This panic isn't always loud. Sometimes it shows up in subtle ways, like her suddenly asking where you've been, or joking about how you don't text as much. Other times it's more obvious. She'll get clingy, she'll demand your time, or she'll start testing you with questions like, "Do you even like me anymore?" These reactions are her way of trying to restore balance. She doesn't want to lose the attention that once made her feel secure, desired, or in control. Here's something you need to understand. Women don't just react to the man, they react to what his behavior represents. Your lack of interest signals uncertainty. It tells her the grip she thought she had isn't as strong as she believed. And uncertainty is uncomfortable. It makes her question herself. She starts wondering, am I not enough? Is he losing attraction? Is there someone else? Those thoughts can trigger emotional urgency. In many cases, this is when she'll increase her effort. She might initiate more conversations, suggest plans, or even bring up the past moments you had together as a way to reel you back in. It's not always about genuine affection. It's about securing her position again. The thought of you slipping away forces her into a defensive mode, and that's why the panic response kicks in. But here's the part most men overlook. This isn't always a bad sign. A woman's panic can actually reveal how much she values your attention. The problem is when men cave too quickly. If you rush to reassure her or immediately go back to chasing, you erase the effect your loss of interest had in the first place. The panic was a sign she felt something shifting. But if you undo it too soon, she learns that your attention is still guaranteed, and the cycle repeats. So, when you see her panicking, whether through clinginess, sudden questions, or increased effort, don't react emotionally. Pay attention to it. Understand it. This is one of the clearest signs that your withdrawal of interest has hit her deeper than she expected. 2. The sudden boost in effort. After the initial panic fades, many women shift into a new mode, suddenly putting in way more effort than before. This is one of the clearest reactions you'll notice when she realizes you've lost interest. The same woman who once seemed laid back about seeing you might now be the one asking when you're free, texting more often, or finding little excuses to stay on your radar. Why does this happen? It comes down to psychology. When someone senses something slipping away, they naturally want to grab it tighter. For a woman, your attention is more than just casual interaction, it's validation. It reassures her that she's attractive, important, and still has influence over you. When that validation weakens, she starts to feel unsettled. So, instead of staying passive, she'll ramp up her effort to pull you back in. Now, here's where most men misunderstand the situation. They see this boost in effort and instantly think, wow, she must really like me. And yes, sometimes it does mean she values you. But more often, it's less about genuine desire and more about regaining control. She doesn't necessarily miss you as a person. She misses what your interest gave her. This boost in effort can take many forms. She might dress differently when she knows she'll see you, laugh harder at your jokes, or start talking about future plans out of nowhere. She may even mention other guys to spark your jealousy, hoping it reignites your chase. All of this is her way of trying to test whether she can still draw your attention back. As a man, the key is to recognize the difference between effort, driven by genuine care, and effort driven by fear of loss. If she's suddenly acting sweeter, more attentive, or more invested, ask yourself, is this consistent behavior, or is it just a short-term response to me pulling back? Because if it's the second, chances are once she feels safe again, her old patterns will return. 3. The emotional rollercoaster. When a woman realizes you've lost interest, one of the biggest shifts you'll notice is her sudden swing in emotions. It's not steady or consistent. It's up and down, hot and cold, sweet one moment, frustrated the next. And this isn't random. It's the direct result of her struggling with the fact that your attention is no longer guaranteed. Think about it. When you were fully invested, she felt secure. She knew you'd reply, she knew you wanted her, and that gave her a certain comfort. The moment that comfort disappears, she starts battling conflicting feelings. On one hand, she wants to fight for your attention. On the other, she feels annoyed that she even has to. That inner conflict is what creates the emotional roller coaster you'll experience. You might notice her being unusually affectionate, texting you sweet messages, acting playful, or bringing up old memories. Then, almost out of nowhere, she might switch to being cold, distant, or even snappy. This shift isn't because she's confused about you, it's because she's confused about herself. She doesn't like the fact that your lack of interest is affecting her so much, so she tries to balance it by pulling away emotionally, only to swing back when the fear of losing you grows stronger. Here's the key point. This emotional roller coaster is not really about you. It's about control. A woman who feels like she's losing influence over a man will swing between trying harder and pulling back, all in an attempt to figure out what works. She's essentially testing her own ability to bring you back into orbit. For men, this can be one of the most confusing parts. A lot of guys interpret the sweet moments as signs she's genuinely into them, and the cold moments as proof she doesn't care. But the reality is that both sides are connected. They're reactions to the same trigger, your loss of interest. So how should you handle it? The best move is to stay calm and consistent. If you get overly excited when she's sweet or overly upset when she's cold, you end up riding the roller coaster with her. That gives her the power to control your emotions. But if you stay steady, neither chasing when she's distant nor rewarding every sweet gesture, you remove her ability to manipulate the dynamic with emotional swings. 4. The testing phase. Once the emotional swings kick in, the next reaction you'll often see is testing. A woman who feels you slipping away will start looking for ways to measure just how much you've really pulled back. These tests are her way of checking if she still has influence over you. And the truth is, most men fail this phase without even realizing it. A test doesn't always look obvious. It can be something small, like her taking longer to reply just to see if you'll chase harder. Or She might bring up another guy in conversation to spark a reaction. She might even accuse you of not caring just to watch how strongly you deny it. All of these little moves are designed to trigger a response that tells her, yes, he still wants me. He's still affected by me. Here's why this happens. Women are wired to protect their value in relationships. When they sense a man losing interest, their ego and emotions both go to work. The ego wants to confirm she still has control. The emotions want reassurance that she's not about to lose something important. Tests are the tool that serves both purposes. For men, this phase can be frustrating because it feels like she's trying to push your buttons. And in a way, she is. But the real problem comes when you react too strongly. If you get defensive, jealous, or start over-explaining yourself, you fail the test. You've just shown her that even though you're pulling back, she still has the ability to control your emotions. That kills the effect of your lost interest because it proves you're still hooked. So how do you handle it? The answer is simple. Don't play into the tests. If she delays her replies, don't suddenly double text. If she mentions another guy, don't get jealous. Stay calm and unbothered. If she accuses you of not caring, don't rush to prove her wrong with long explanations. Respond with composure, short answers, or even humor. The less reactive you are, the more she feels that her usual tricks don't work anymore. And that realization makes her take your withdrawal more seriously. This is why losing interest, whether intentionally or naturally, can be such a powerful shift. It exposes whether she valued you as a man or just the comfort of your attention. Her tests are a reflection of her uncertainty, not a reflection of your worth. 5. The pullback game. One of the most common reactions you'll see when a woman realizes you've lost interest is her playing the pullback game. This is where she mirrors your behavior, becoming distant, quiet, or less available, as a way of trying to regain control of the situation. On the surface, it looks like she's losing interest too, but the truth is, it's often just a tactic. Here's how it usually plays out. Imagine you've stopped chasing. Your replies are slower, you're no longer eager to make plans, and you're just focusing on your own life. She notices this change and feels that shift of power. Instead of directly confronting it, she decides to pull back too. She might not text first, she might act like she's suddenly busier than usual, or she may even appear cold when you do interact. Her goal isn't to end things, it's to spark your curiosity and make you wonder if she's the one losing interest. This move is all about reversing the roles. She wants you to feel the same uncertainty she's feeling. If you bite, if you start chasing again, asking why she's distant or trying harder to win her back, she regains her position of power. That's exactly what the pullback game is designed to do. The key here is recognizing it for what it is. A reaction, not a true reflection of her feelings. Most women who use this tactic don't actually want to let go. They're testing whether your loss of interest is real or if it's just temporary. By pulling back, they're trying to shake you out of your calm, steady energy and drag you back into the chase. Now, here's where most men trip up. They see her sudden coldness and panic. They think, oh no, I pushed her too far, she's slipping away, and they rush to fix it. But the moment you do that, the dynamic resets, and she's back in control. Instead of confirming your strength, you've just shown her that all she has to do is pull away, and you'll come running. The smarter move? Match her distance with composure. If she slows down communication, don't overcompensate. If she acts busy, don't chase harder to fit into her schedule. If she tries to play cold, don't react emotionally. When you stay calm and unbothered, you send a clear message. If you want me, you'll have to come forward genuinely, not through games. 6. The jealousy trigger. Another reaction. You'll often notice when a woman realizes you've lost interest is her attempt to spark jealousy. This is one of the oldest and most common tactics because it plays directly on your emotions. If she can't pull you back with affection or attention, she'll try to do it by making you feel like someone else might be taking your place. This can show up in different ways. She might start mentioning other guys more often, coworkers, male friends, or even random people from her social circle. She might become more active on social media, posting pictures where she looks her best, often with the subtle suggestion that other men are noticing. Sometimes, she'll even highlight how much fun she's having without you, as if to say, "Look, I'm in demand." Don't think you can just lose interest and not feel it. The psychology behind this move is simple. She's trying to trigger an emotional reaction. If you suddenly show signs of jealousy, she knows your interest is still alive, even if you're pretending to pull away. That little flash of insecurity reassures her that she hasn't really lost her grip. Now, here's where you have to be sharp. Many men fall straight into this trap. They see her with other guys, or even just hear about them, and immediately confront her, get defensive, or try harder to prove themselves. But the moment you do that, you've given her exactly what she wanted. Proof that you're still invested. That kills the effect of your distance. The best way to deal with this is to remain calm and unfazed. Don't give her the satisfaction of seeing jealousy control you. If she brings up another man, don't bite. If she's trying to flaunt her options, let her. By staying unbothered, you send a powerful message. I'm not competing. If you want me, it's on my terms. 7. The wake-up call. At some point, when a woman realizes your interest is gone and her usual tactics aren't working, she's forced to face a tough reality. You're not as easy to control as she thought. And this is where the wake-up call happens. For some women, this is the moment they step up. For others, it's the moment they give up. But either way, it's the point where the truth finally shows itself. Here's what you need to understand. When you stop pouring all your energy into a woman, she gets a mirror held up to her behavior. She has to ask herself, why did he lose interest? Did I take him for granted? Did I stop giving effort? Did I assume he'd always be there no matter what? Those are uncomfortable questions, but they're powerful. They force her to reflect on her role in the situation, something she doesn't always want to do. This is where you, as a man, need to pay attention. Because not every woman is going to respond the same way. Some will take responsibility, they'll realize they slacked, they'll see your value, and they'll start making genuine changes. Others, though, won't like what the mirror shows. Instead of adjusting, they'll blame you, play the victim, or look elsewhere for the attention they lost. And this is where you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. If your loss of interest exposed a woman who can't handle accountability, that's not a woman you should be investing in. Attraction without respect or effort doesn't last. No amount of games or chasing will turn her into the partner you actually want. On the other hand, if she wakes up and starts showing real appreciation, consistent effort, not just temporary panic, that's a sign she may actually value you enough to grow. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. When a woman realizes you've lost interest, her reaction says far more about her character than it does about your worth. Some women will panic, play games, and fight for your attention just to protect their ego. Others will genuinely reflect, step up, and start putting in the effort they should have been giving all along. Either way, your loss of interest is the trigger that reveals what's real. And here's the controversial part. Sometimes, the best thing that can happen in your dating life is for a woman to feel that fear of losing you. Not because you're trying to manipulate her, but because it forces her to value what she was taking for granted. Most men spend their lives chasing validation from women when the real power is in creating a dynamic where your presence has weight and your absence is noticed. So don't fear these reactions. Learn from them. If she steps up consistently, you know she actually values you. If she plays games or collapses into immaturity, you've just been handed the clarity you need to walk away with confidence. Either outcome is a win. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a woman's behavior change the moment you stopped showing interest? Did she panic, test you, pull back, or step up? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'll be reading them and joining the conversation. Let's break this down together.